Hi, Stacie.
Hello.
How you doing?
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Yeah, we're doing kind of like a beading Sunday lately, just because like Saturdays for me, I don't know about you, but Saturdays for me got crazy.
Same.
It's getting warm and we're out doing stuff, and yeah. So we figured, we'll get on and show you guys some beautiful new ideas. So right now I've been obsessing, like a lot of us have been kind of obsessing over the new glass garden strands that came out a couple weeks ago. And I have a link up on the screen because I've been asked a couple of times where they are. And so I want to make sure I share that first. So any of the strands that we use today, which are these there's a lot of them. And I'll show you guys a bunch. I'll get the mat going in a way you can see better in a minute here. But essentially there's a whole collection of different colors and different types of strands. Like there's some that have 4, like a bundle, and then there's some that's just a single strand, like these cute little tulips. Yeah. And so all of these, the entire collection, are available at the link I've got here up on the screen, and that's also in the comments. So you can scroll to at the top, and those links I believe are active. You can click on them. You can also find a clickable link in the description for this video. So if you just kind of like close the live chat and go in YouTube to hit more, and in there there'll be all these links.
It was in our Facebook event too. So if anybody.
Oh yeah. In the Facebook event, does that have a description in there too? Everything I populate.
Yeah, there were live links to the Amazon site there as well.
Bonus. Okay, cool. So it's there both places if you guys are looking for it. And then of course you can't find it, just send me a message after the live and I'll try to get you pointed in the right direction until you can find anything we're using here today. Yeah. And so what did you think of the collection when it came out?
I loved it.
You like it?
Yeah. Lena did a great job.
I wish I could take credit for it. I did not work on this one. This was mostly Carmi and Lena. And you guys all know Carmi and Lena Glassby design.
They did amazing work.
Did amazing work, yeah. And so I got to just have the fun of seeing it for the first time and getting to play with it without having to have actually done any work. So bonus. Yeah, so it's more enjoyable actually to play the collection that you didn't slave over, because you're not bored of it. When you see it, it's new to you and it's exciting. And so I've been really inspired with this one.
Yeah, same. These are really, really perfect for spring.
Yeah. And so let's see. Okay, I wanted to let you guys know in the comments, we have Colleen. Thank you, Colleen. Hey, and send her lots of beady hugs. And I'm going to do a giveaway today. And so you guys got a sneak preview of my giveaway. And it's going to be a strand of tulips and a strand of these. It has tulips here too, lotus flowers. And it also has a bunch of really cool little bellflowers and,
cool.
Of course, crystals that you can use as your little spacers. And I have an idea that I'm going to share today that's going to be ideal for this type of strand bundle. And so one other thing I just wanted to point out real quick before we dive into like making stuff is that some of the project inspiration I have here is already available as PDFs. So starting with the jelly is mostly Super Duo and some Permalux, which you can find at Michael's. But I put the little glass garden beads at the bottom. And so I just wanted to share that quickly as an inspiration for you guys to know that these make really good fringe like dots. So one of the concepts that I haven't done yet, but is in my head, is putting the little bellflowers as the bottom of your fringe. Has anyone ever done that?
Be cute.
Yeah, let me show you what I mean really quick. So there's a bunch of them. This one's probably a little rounder than I was picturing, but a lot of the strands have these little dots, and there's some strands that are just all little tiny bellflowers. You could use that and have that be just like a wild little, like, suspended from the bottom of a fringe strand. This is a little bit bigger version, but
yeah,
you get the idea. So that's something I wanted to share. And another PDF that's already available. This one just came out, and I put a link to it also in the comments. It is the lily pads, and the lily pads are made with any glass garden petal strand you want, along with some bellflowers. And then the only thing that you need that is a little bit weird, I'm going to show you really quick, is it uses these brooch findings. And these are a John Bead original, and they go from back in the day, like before me. But it's used for a lot of different things, and in this case, it was very ideal for making these little flowers. So this is a design that I learned from Lena Glassby, and she taught me, and then we did a PDF together. And so the link to buy these, it's in my description for the videos. And there's also the PDF and everything is on the blog. So if you go to blog.johnbead.com, and I'll put that up next. Let's see really quick here.
Yeah, I'm saving this strand for.
You're saving that for this, yeah.
I need one of those brooch
so many. It could even work with like leaves, you know, like if you have, there's a whole strand of like check glass leaves that you can use, like that, and you can just go like around and around. It was a little tricky for me to pick up first because like when Lena was teaching me, I was struggling to get the wire through. I found that nylon jaw pliers really helped me in working with 26 gauge, and that's all it's about. Yeah.
I love my nylon jaw pliers.
Oh, me too. Me too. And then this is just, we're probably going to talk about this one today because this is something similar to the beautiful earrings that you made. So this is wire wrapping on a form or a frame. And so thousands of ways you can go with that. This one, this little pretty set was made with using beadwork findings. And I just did brick stitch. This is a thread design. And that's a common design that is out there. Last but not least, bead rope. So I already have a video on my YouTube channel that shows how to do this one. And it is with twin beads on the YouTube video, but these are super duo. You can use super duo, twin, you can use mini duos. Pretty much any 2-pole bead that's kind of got that orientation where the holes run parallel to the bead. Yeah, that's how I did this. And in between each little thing, I did little baubles from the glass garden strands. And that's just a spiral rope. Super, super easy.
Yeah, I've got this one. I don't know if folks can see it well here.
I'm going to make you big so you can show it.
Okay.
Let's see. Solo layout. There we go.
Here we go. Here. It's like opposite on the screen. I always love that. So this is another one. These were just, I think, Bead-A-One quick links, but any frame will work. You know, I've seen some at Michael's as well, some ovals and circles and other shapes. And had some of the small crystals that I just wire wrapped. And I really love these crystals. Thank you, Lena, that are kind of a blue ombre. And then just, you know, put a little charm on the bottom.
I love those. Those are so pretty. You did a really great job with that one. I love the way you did the flower suspended on it.
Oh, thank you.
Super, super cute. And yeah, and so let's see, actually, let me bring this one over just really quick and I'll show you one last thing. This one is lemons, and there's strands that are just lemons, and they come in a bunch of different colors. I'm kind of obsessed with them. Here they are in orange. This one is wicked cool. And there's even a multicolor one. So you could do, this is so Italian, like a bistro.
It is.
Very Mediterranean.
Yeah.
I just love that. And all you got to do is literally just string it and pop a clasp on.
You could totally do a bracelet stack of just the lemons and the oranges.
Yeah.
That would look really cool together.
That would be super fun. So that was all I did.
Make cute charms on an earring too.
Yes. Yeah. You could just put that on a head pin. Suspend that and you'd have a beautiful little drop. That would be really fun.
Each one you put up, I'm like, oh, I need one of those. One of those.
Definitely. Well, you send me your list and I'll find those. So, the other thing that I didn't show yet, because I am actually kind of still brainstorming ideas. Now, Carol from Carol Carmen Jewelry did a beautiful peyote stitch band on these. I don't know if you guys saw her post, but it was really cool. If you just go to @CarolCarmenJewelry on Instagram and just scroll a little bit down in her feed, you'll see she used these in peyote stitch, which was just wicked cool. And I've yet to do anything with them except for the earrings I'm wearing. Let me show you those really quick. I used them as little bottoms for.
Oh, cute.
And I've been wearing these a lot. These are like my kind of go-to at the moment. They're super cute.
I saw a really cute pair that you posted yesterday, and I can't recall who did them, but they were just the little tulip flowers on earrings, and they were just absolutely darling.
That was Mount Forest Beadery. My friend Karen, she actually is here in Seattle, and if you guys are local here in Washington, on the Puget Sound side, there's 3 places you can get these in person and go see them. You can go to Ben Franklin Crafts in Redmond, or you can go to, there's one in Maple Valley and there's one in Bonnie Lake. And they have the whole collection there, guys. So you got to go check that out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So if you're lucky to be here, they're here.
I'd get into a lot of trouble if I could see them in person.
Me too. And you know what happens is when I am in a pinch and I'm short something and I'm trying to do a design, I go over there and get it from them. So, see, I went to Ben Franklin Crafts yesterday because I wanted to have the reds. I never got the reds. Those went to our friend that does bead embroidery. And that's another inspiration out there. If you guys are into bead embroidery, Wild Boho, you can see her on Instagram at just at Wild Boho. She did a bunch of bead embroidery hoops using.
I saw those.
I was like, oh my gosh, they're epic. They take a while to learn, but they're very cool.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
Yeah. And then I had one other idea to share, and then I was just gonna turn the screen over to you to maybe share those earrings a little closer. But
sure.
I was gonna try combining something in like this, and this is kind of what Nicole was doing. So you can get sequins and beads kit, and then put that with these, and like join them together. And
I think that would be pretty cool.
Use them as spacers. Yeah, and then I was thinking for fringe, you could get these going, and so there's there's so many ideas. I have bead ADD every day of my life. It drives me crazy. Yeah. All right. So let's see. Let me bring your screen over when you're ready. You let me know. And then I was thinking I might do the idea that I was sharing with you earlier, which I was going to do some butterflies on head pins, and I was going to string that on a strand of beading wire and make a really cute charm bracelet. It was just a little vision that I was having.
Yeah, love to see that. I am ready when you are.
All right. And so actually, I'm going to put this as solo layout there. Okay.
Okay. Get myself centered. So a close-up of the earring. So these are kind of a blue-yellow ombre. And Danielle, I don't know if you intentionally gave me blue beads, but
you love them,
or you just knew of my blue obsession and figured.
I knew. Yes.
But I used to want to have, I think it's like a little kind of like rose or primrose or something for the charm. I just really like this one. There were some others on here, some butterflies and whatnot, but this one just spoke to me. And so I can kind of show you what I did. So this was the link. This was a quick link. It was just what I had in my stash. And I used, let me grab it here. It's like a big piece. I'll probably hit the camera. I used just 26 gauge dead soft wire to wrap these. I find that's usually, pretty easy when you're working with little crystals and something small like this. So the way that I do it is, I just kind of put it across, leave, half inch, quarter of an inch, just something so you can kind of hold on to it. And then just wrap it around the link. And I do that, like 2-3 times just to get it so that it, it stays on there. And I usually don't worry about the first one. Well, that's good. Let's fling the crystals with the wire all over the desk.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so when I'm like, there's one missing later, you can remind me that I did fling them around. And I'll just go in with the pliers and just kind of neaten them up. And I just saw it somewhere. The one thing that Danielle mentioned that I'm going to get back to because you piqued my interest is I like to use my nylon jaw pliers sometimes as I'm coming through here to just straighten out some of the wire so it's not kinked. So you will want your wire facing outward. Unless you want to put your crystals on the inside, then you would want it facing inward. And I don't like adding wire to this design. I find it a little challenging. So I work with a pretty long piece. You can add wire, but then you've got to match it up, and it's not a lot of fun. And I had to do that on the first one. So, see if I can see where the hole is. Basically, just string it on there, and then I just hold it in place with my hand and wrap my wire around. Let me see how many I put in between. So I put 3 wraps in between, and there's 2 things to think about when you're doing that. One, you want to have enough space, because if I just put one, these would be like all crammed together in here. But some of it's a design choice, whether you're putting 3 or 4 or 5. So you've got that flexibility. So I'm going to do 2, 3, and then come on back up to the top. And what I will do periodically, probably more like most rounds, is just go in and kind of shove these together so that they're, neat, and try and keep the spacing in between, each of the stones, as similar as possible. And to be clear, I wouldn't overly worry about it, because I know for a fact that the spacing is not perfect on this one. And unless you get really close and spend a lot of time studying it, you wouldn't notice that.
For sure. Yeah.
So basically you just, keep putting these on. I don't know, Danielle, if you want me to do one more, and then we can switch to you and I can work on this and we can come back.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, here it comes down my long. And I don't know, I probably have 2 feet of 26 gauge here.
Yeah. I like 26 gauge as well for that type of
Yeah,
wrap.
I've seen people do it with 24, but I find I fight with it a little.
Yeah, it's harder to straighten it out if you make a kink in it, and it's easier to make a kink.
So again, just wrap it. That's caught up in my pliers. That's one thing. So you have 2 choices in doing this. You can add wire, which is not ideal, or you can have a long piece of wire and get caught up in everything on your desk. So
Right?
about 3 again, and then I am just going to bring it up to the top. Go in, make sure I like how they're sitting and where they are. Sometimes I start using my nails too. And then, continue doing that. And I can continue working on that, Danielle, if you want to show
Yeah, let me switch
new
over.
and improved butterfly design.
So I was inspired by a bracelet that I saw at a designer shop that had butterfly charms going around a bracelet. And so this is what I thought I might go with. So this is one of the strands. And in case anyone wants to know which one this is, let's find it here. It is it's the one that's called Crystal Lane DIY Smoky Purple Pears, Butterflies, and Tulips. So that's the one that ends in -72 if it shows the part number, 4 strands. And again, that's Smoky Purple Pear, Butterfly, Tulips. And I'm combining it with the seed beads from this, but you could just use any. I'm just going to be borrowing little seed beads out of it. So any purple seed beads you have are all you're going to need. I'm not going to string it yet. At the moment, what I'm doing is I'm making little charms. And I'm just using some head pins to do that. So this is the strand here, and I'm just going to borrow from it. This one I'm thinking I'll save, and I'll use that for the bracelet. And I'm going to bring a butterfly over and do a butterfly drop next. I'm just doing regular good old wrap loops for these. And on this one, because it's got kind of like a down, I think I might put a seed bead on there. Just because I want to have something higher so I can do my wrap loop. You know how hard it is to do when there's something slanted to do that? Yeah. So let's just try this. There we go.
The other thing seed beads are really good for is if you're going to put some of the crystals on a head pin. Sometimes the hole is a little bit big. And I find if I put a little seed bead down there, it just keeps it on.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Exactly. And I would say, especially on the crystals, these have pretty generous hole diameter, probably a little larger than what you might remember as like a gemstone standard drill or a standard drill and like a check glass bead. These are going to run a little bigger than that. So if you do like things like crochet, bead crochet, you'll be able to get these on there easier to cord that's as big as 0.8 millimeter, actually. I was finding that to be very cool. I'm working on something in the realm of a crochet design using these strands. And as soon as I get something I'm excited about, I'm going to share that to you.
Can't wait to see those.
I started one the other day and I just used a bunch of leftover beads and I decided I wanted it to have color blocking instead. So I'm redoing it. So there's a little charm. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to make a bunch of little sweet little charms and then we'll do a strung design and pop them on there. So next is going to be a tulip. And, you know, I think I'm going to, so they come with these little clear beads. And I might just use them because why not, right? There's one in between here. Or no, we'll just go straight like that. I don't know. I think 5 charms is what I'm going to go for here. And maybe I'm being indecisive. Let's see. What is that? How's that look? I feel like that will kind of tie it together. So I'm going to do that.
The tulips are my favorite in this whole set.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's good to know. Yeah, a little 2-piece flower. One thing I could say about the tulips, a little tip, because I did this to myself a couple times, is you want to leave a little air. If you go too tight, it'll force it to sit like that.
Oh.
So if you want it to stay so where it kind of hovers, either put a seed bead in between. I took my seed bead out. Maybe I should have left it. Or just leave some air on it. And that's plan B for me here.
That is a good tip. Thank you, Danielle. I liked mine so much I haven't used them yet. That's like my thing. I get beads that I really like and then I never want to use them.
Yeah, me too.
Am I the only one that does that?
No, I'm like that. I have strands that I don't want to break up to make things with because I'm scared that they will, you know, not that I can't just go get another one, but for some reason I just won't do that. Let me go over here and I'm just going to hide that so you can see better. There we go. All right. Let's see. I'm really slow with wire work. I'm a stitcher, so even though I learned wire first, I'm still really slow with it.
I think with wire you have to be slow, and that's one of the things that I've learned from watching other people who are wire masters is like being really quick on it doesn't always work to your advantage.
Yeah, you'll end up maybe some of the materials won't get totally used. You'll end up with some that.
Well, I think just making slower movements with wire just works better in a general sense than being quicker. I don't know. Because I find when I started taking more of my time and moving more slowly, the wire started doing what I wanted.
Yeah. And I was noticing on this one, I didn't put I'm trying to decide if I want to do this with or without this. I'm going to match it this time, but in hindsight, I wish I put a seed bead on both below and above. I don't know. I'm torn about it. You just got to try it.
It's good as is, but.
You think so?
Yeah.
I am doing my wrap sideways with it. It's a little unusual way to do a wrap, I think.
Yeah, that is different.
But I am working on a slant. And it's really delicate, so I'm trying not to break it. And I've got one more butterfly to do, and I think I'll start stringing. How are you doing? Do you want me to switch to you?
Sure.
Yeah. If you've got something
ready
to go, I'm going to switch over to you. There we go.
So you can see I was busy working and moved my whole
Yeah.
whole beading mat around. So I got half of the beads on, and I love how they kind of go from a darker teal down to like this barely teal color. And then I can show you kind of what I did here. Let me see if I can move this out of the way so that we can see. So I put about 6 or 8 wraps in there just to create a space to put my charm on. I guess the other option is you could have, that might have been easier actually from a wire standpoint, is you could have finished off right here, left a little gap, and then started with another wire. So you weren't dealing with, all those wires I've been fighting with. So if you're not a big wire wrapper, you may want to think about that approach. So again, all I'm doing here is I did the 3 after my last bead, and I'm going to just put in a couple more to leave a space for my charm. I got a little kink there.
Oh, it's cool to see how you did the charm. Yeah. So I noticed there was a little gap.
Yeah. So I would do it this way. I mean, there's other ways of doing it. Like I said, you might want to.
I like your way. I think it's good.
And here is exactly why I love the nylon jaw pliers. So number 1, unlike bead weaving, you do not want to yank on the wire when it gets like a tangle, because that's kind of one of the things I would often do with string, but you don't want to do that with wire. It'll like complete the knot or cause it to break. So you want to just kind of unbend it and unkink it, and then I like my nylon jaw pliers to unkink it. And that is one of the things that is problematic when you use longer pieces, is it does tend to want to, kink up as it's going through. You can also just kind of straighten it with your hand, which is what I'm doing here. So I'm going to go, you know what, I can actually jump to the charm.
Oh, yeah.
Do this out of order. So let me see how I did this. I remember how I did that. So I actually did a knotted head pin here. Let me see if that works. So I did one of these ends, I think is cut nicely. This one is. So I can show how to do that. So using the round nose pliers, and this is 22 gauge. And I usually use German style wire if I'm doing head pins.
Oh, okay.
So just wrap it around the end once. And then when you get to the end, or to where it lines up again, you're going to go around a second time. Well, that's good. I can do this in 2 seconds if I wasn't on camera. But
I know. It's always the way. I'm digging through, hoping I brought crimps. So lucky for me.
And then once you've gone around the second time, you actually just bend this up. And I know Sarah Lovecraft does a lot of these, I think, who I've seen do tons and tons of them. And then what you're going to do is I usually just kind of work the wire into a curve so it doesn't kink. You're going to send it through the loop. And then again, like theme of the day, nylon jaw pliers. Grab it with the nylon jaw pliers, maybe. And then you can just pull it. Sometimes it doesn't want to go at the very end part. Let me see what it's doing. And just pull it. Normally it actually goes all the way through. Every once in a while it gets a little kinked, and then I have to kind of yank it. So
That's what kept happening to me when I was doing the
here,
lily pads. It was so hard. I was
I'm
doing
just
that every
wimpy. I just need to work out more. But anyhow, yeah, there's still a little gap on this one. But anyhow, that is the gist of how you do it. I will sit here and fuss with it until that little teeny tiny gap is out. Ah, there it is.
You got it?
I did. I was going to sit here and I was going to pull on this wire until I broke it, or it worked.
Oh no. Well, just the trick is being really careful not to have it fly backwards.
That too, yeah. So
I've done that.
I make these all the time. I almost never have a battle with them.
That's the lives. Murphy's Law of Lives.
Yeah, it is. Sometimes though I find, and it's doing it this time, sometimes after pulling it, it's a little kinked on the end. So I just make sure I use enough wire. That's long enough that I can cut a little off the end. And then stick the rose on. And then I used one of the bigger crystals, and of course it was blue.
Oh, of course, yeah. Love blue.
And then what I did, and I'm not going to put it on just yet, is I actually just I wire wrapped it on there of soothing colors. Yes. I need more soothing colors in my life. And so I wire wrapped that on there. So when I am done finishing the other piece, I will just go and put that on. And actually did exactly the same thing at the top as I did on the bottom. So I just put the coils in. There's about 3 on each side. And then use one of the French ear wires. But you can use any ear wire that suits your fancy. So Danielle, did you want to go back to your bracelet?
Oops, I hit remove. That wasn't what I wanted to do. There we go. I know what I'm doing. There we go. Okay, so I've got the, these are done. So I have my little dangles. And I think what I was going to do is do a tulip and then butterflies and then do these on the ends like that. So that was the start there. So now, now I've got some beading wire, and all I've done so far is a crimp at the end. Let me hold this up the way that it focuses. It was just one small 2x2 crimp, and I'm working with some, what's my beading wire size? It's actually a 0.014. If I'd had something bigger, I should have gone with something a little bigger or thicker, but this is what I had sitting on my mat. So that's the one I'm using. But I think you could get away with a lot of different sizes of beading wire.
I was going to say, these are pretty light too, so I don't think you would need anything industrial.
You don't think so? Yeah, I think
from
it's
a beading wire.
Definitely, there's some wiggle room for sure. Like you could probably try different stuff. And what I did so far is I left these two. I left the really big one undisturbed, and this one I'm going to use for earrings because they're nice and small. But I thought I might work the ombre that's already here. It goes from gray to a light purple to a dark purple. And so I thought I might just stick with this size for this charm bracelet and in working between some of these interest beads. So I've got this one on so far. And one other thing I thought I might do is maybe do some spacers. Do you guys like to work with spacers? You can find them a lot of places. Right now, I've been obsessed with 2 different kinds of things. I'm going to be teaching classes upcoming here in the next few weeks for Michael's, where I'm using a couple of metal bead strands. So here's an example of one. And what I might do is bring in a little bit of metal spacers. I have a similar strand to this. It's kind of like a flat version. I need to save those for class because I'm going to use them for class. So I'm going to use one that I've already broken up. Just a bunch of these little discs. And so really common little spacer discs. You can probably find these lots of places. And otherwise, you could just use a seed bead. And I don't know if I'm going to love this or not. I'm just playing.
Seed beads make good spacers too, especially a lot of times I find the size 8 are a good size for a spacer.
I mean, I use them all, everything from 15 to 11 to 8. I use everything. I was just trying to, because I'm copying, a lot of you guys might have already guessed what I'm copying if you follow jewelry trends, but if you look at the Brighton website, they have a little butterfly bracelet on there, and then they have these like strands, but they use a lot of metal components. And so I was feeling inspired by that. And so that's why I brought in these little flat little discs. But I also have these, which I got these little round ones. That might have a cool look too. And I got these from Kelly. So I see Jennifer. Jennifer's out there. So she's
a Kelly fan.
I don't know. I'm going to play with both of these and see which ones I like. I'm just going like diving in my stash, just having a good time, just doing stuff. And
I like getting spacers. I feel like it helps break up the beads. And so if you have like a bunch of, really nice beads that you want to show off, it kind of sets them apart a little bit more than just kind of tossing them all on.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then it gives you some, some dimension to your piece. And that's kind of what I was visioning here, is just a bunch of different beautiful little elements happening. So I've got, I don't know, what do you think of that? And then I'll bring it back down with another one.
That.
And I reserve the right to take it apart. And then pink here. And let's do another one of these. Okay, and so now I think we're ready for a charm, maybe? And what I should have done, actually, before I did any of this was I maybe should have decided how big I want my bracelet to be. So maybe I'll just bring it out like this. So charm, charm, center charm, charm, charm. So I'm right where I want to be for my first charm. Just kind of guessing here. I'm going to need to put some jump rings on each of these. So let me find some little teenies. What do I have here? I've got some ovals. I'll bring those out. I only need a few, so 5 of them. Open that. And I'll pop that on my first charm.
Is there a reason you're not just putting those directly on, Danielle?
Yeah, I think because if I did, they might not, well, so I could be wrong about that, but they would suspend in a way that maybe would get, I don't know, let's try it both and see what we like.
I was just curious.
No,
yeah, they might hang and move a little bit better if they're on a junk ring. They'll have a little more.
But it's just honestly just habit. So let's find out. I'm going to do both, and we'll look at it and see. Okay, so it will be. Let's make it tight. So pretend that it's ready as a bracelet. So it's got motion. We could do that.
I wasn't trying to.
No, actually, I think
deter you. I was just asking for folks.
No, that's why we're here working together, so we can figure out.
They want to know why you chose to do it that way.
I think it's usually because sometimes it doesn't have the swing in this way, but that's not necessarily always. So like, for example, the size of the bead, right? Maybe I have to just test it. Like if I was using one of these really big ones, it would gobble up the charm.
Yeah,
like
it probably would need a little more space in there to.
It would be stuck in there, and the leaf would be like jammed in between. So that one definitely I would need a jump ring, but on this one, the jump ring is certainly optional, I would say. I don't know. No matter which way I do it, I'm going to need to see both and decide. I didn't close that jump ring. Check it out. I'm having perfectionist moment. Let's see. There's Mother's Day coming up. And so I was going to share my vision with this one. I don't know if anybody was with us. Not yesterday. Yesterday was Saturday. But Friday, and there will be a replay available Monday. Friday, we were making gift boxes. And like how
so pretty.
It's going to be so pretty in there. My vision for that is just to hand that to my mom.
Yeah, that'd be great with these flower strands.
And she loves the color that I'm using, so she's going to be excited when she sees this one. And so yeah, I'm going to go back to metal. Let's go to metal.
Just tell her not to watch this video, otherwise she'll
Yeah,
ruin this prize.
exactly. Like, don't watch this one, okay? All right, and so I'm going to go ahead and do a little interest transition bead here. So just something like that. And give me a shout when you want me to switch back to your screen too.
I'm good for the moment. I'm just about finishing my last crystal.
Actually, I'm going to take this off. And there we go. Okay. I'm feeling like that has a really cool flow to it.
It does. I like that.
Should I switch the order? Maybe put this one over here and that one over there? It would only take a second to switch that. Yeah, I have a vision there because I only want to use 2 of them because there's 3 in the strand. And so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have it go to this bead. And then we'll go. Boop. So to that one. And maybe back down to this one. And then we'll get this little pink bead. It's calling out the colors in this. So I thought that is just so cute, the way that looks.
That is nice. I like that. It's kind of complimentary.
So that's what I'm going to do for the first little iteration. And then we'll go this crystal. See, a lot of thought goes into string designs. Have you noticed that? I think I probably hem and haw more over something like this than I would over a seed bead or a stitch design.
I do too. I often lay mine out and I'll let it sit for a few hours or a day and then I'll come back to it. And then I'll change it.
And then you'll change it. I always want to change it after I've crimped it. It's one thing with me I gotta watch. Indecisive crimper. Okay. All right, now I'm liking this. There we go. That's going to have more of a flow. So I want that to be something you see a lot. So on my wrist, it will look like this. It's going to start like right there. And our first charm would be like right there. It's going to have another crystal and another charm here. And we'll get it to the center with the tulip, I believe. I was going to do the tulip as the center there. Ah, yes, jump ring. And I just decided to go with those, but I don't think it's required with the size of bead I'm using. I think you could probably get away with not doing it.
So it's a designer's choice.
Yeah, it just depends how much like lower from the band you want it to hang. All right, let's see how that looks.
I got to the end of my ring, so.
You did? Oh, let me switch back to you really quick.
Yeah, we can. Ta-da!
Oh, beautiful! Yay!
So, let me see. You did a pretty good job.
That is beautiful. You did a great job.
You did a really good job tucking the wires in. I was like, what side is the back? So really just, yeah. Okay. So really I just went and opened the ear wire and then closed it. A little bit of a tight fit. I actually decided, and I did this on the last one because I wanted it to hang a little bit better. I left a little bit of a, now that I put it on, you can't see. I left a little bit of a gap in the wire wrapping between the start and the finish, and I'm sneaking the ear wire in there. It floats over, but it felt like it hung a little bit better on the bare ring.
Oh, that's cool.
And then I am going to do a wrap loop to put this on. You could probably also do a simple loop if you wanted. And then just open that loop and smuck it on. Remember this one being a little tricky because I've got the crystals in the vicinity that I do not want to break. We're spending time to get in there. Okay. So yeah, just took me a couple tries to grab it at the right angle.
No, I think it's cute.
Yeah. And I was just going to wrap it if I can ever. I remember it took me a few times before. Like, get at the right angle. There we go. Yeah, and I think too makes it tight enough. I don't want to break the crystals. I want them to have a little bit of movement. So yeah, after it's wrapped, just
Yeah, trust your instinct. Whenever you have that little voice that tells you it's gonna break the bead, he's like, no.
Yep. I'll tuck that little piece in.
There's been times that I've disobeyed that little voice and it's been bad for me.
Yep. And you hear that crack noise and you're like, no.
I just cry and start again the next day. It's too late.
So here they are.
Wow, it looks so cute.
Yeah, I can't really show them shaking from this angle, but that's okay.
Lori says they're so pretty.
Thank you. I will take a picture of them and post. One of them was posted, but it was like the lone earring just to show where I was going.
Yeah, so and I think it's so cool. Yeah, let me show you guys where I've got what I've got going over here.
Thank you so much, Lori.
And oh, here's one more for you. This is cute.
Just toss it around. Yeah, I did. There's usually language involved too, but decided I would not share that today.
Circles and sentence enhancers. I always loved that one. I'm trying to get him to show. Let's see. How can I make this look cool? Okay. So kind of like so far what I've got. And I just have a little bit ways to go and then I'm done. So I'm just trying to make sure I follow my same pattern. So I'm here on that side. So I'm ready for, it looks like I'm ready for the pear. And I've got that one ready to go here. Just going to pop a little jump ring on it. Just because I did on the other one, but I think, no, either way would be good. And let's go this way through it. So it hangs with the front side, the side that I think makes the prettiest front side, based on my wraps. There's that. Okay, and so then what I did after that is I went to one of these, which is one of the more pinky ones. And then I did one of these. One of those. And one of those. One more of these. And this is going to need chain like, charms. I'm going to have to do a little charm on the end. Just can't leave the chain hanging out alone by itself there.
Absolutely.
So, got a spacer. And last but not least, we're going to do one more of these. So I had just enough of the dark purple, so I didn't end up ombreing. Could have, but let's see. How does that look? I'm going to slide it up a little bit. It needs one more seed bead. And then if I like it, we'll crimp it. So let's get my board out again. This is the part where I like get scared of crimping. All right. Is it going to be long enough? If not, I might add more here in the center. Yeah. Let me think for a second. So I could also have a lot of charm goodness going on back here with the chain, which I might really enjoy. And plus it's going to have the clasp on it. I think I'm going to do a lot of decoration here and keep this like this because I want to use some bellflowers if there's time. How are we doing on time? Are we good? We're getting close. Once I get going, it's
10
fun.
minutes.
Okay, cool. Let me pop this down here. I've got some of these.
And I was going to say, mine came from the Roses, Butterflies, and Rondelle strand in ombre teal.
Oh, good to know. Okay.
It was one of the 4 stranders.
One of the 4 stranders.
And I had bellflowers, butterflies, and one more rose left. So I may need to make myself a matching charm bracelet.
Yay. Yeah, definitely. I'm just going to do one quick brave crimp here. I'm always worried I'll break my seed beads, so I don't quite. Let's move that down just a smidge. There we go.
You know, that's another thing that I find is good about seed beads is sometimes I'll put them next to a crimp or a wire wrap, and then you don't ever break your crystals.
Yes.
If you happen to break a seed bead, then you just have a little teeny tiny space in there.
Exactly. I'm going to see how it fits. And actually, I'm not unhappy with that fit. I think that's a really nice fit.
It is?
Yeah. So that kind of worked out because the clasp added some length. And so I just need a lot of gewgaws going on over here. Something
you do.
Something very,
because
it's
extra
got
bling.
so much sparkly chain hanging. So let me lay it out in a glamour shot really quick. And we'll just bring this over here. Yeah. Okay. This was kind of my vision for it. Well, let's turn it this way so you can see it. Very reminiscent of that bracelet that inspired me. And so I think where I might go from here. Okay. So I can't decide. What about putting a mushroom on it? Would that be crazy? You can have a mushroom.
I think you could.
I would probably go with one of the small blue ones maybe, but put it like that at the end. Or since it's for my mom, I don't know if she hasn't really gotten onto the mushroom thing. This one. Okay, I'm obsessed with this strand. Let me tell you guys what this one's called. It is the purple 14 by 16 millimeter lotus purple. And it has these cool Picasso things. Can you guys see the Lena Gillespie choice there? That she made this just like pop. But what I want to do is use these little skirts, the little bellflowers, because I feel like that would be a very cute dangle.
That would be. That goes perfectly.
So I'm just going to wire wrap that.
I'm going to save your mom from the mushroom.
Yeah, exactly. And she'll be like, oh, it's kind of cute. Yeah. And so, yeah, I'll do that. I'll put that on there and I'll post that to today or tomorrow so you guys can see the finished product. Let's see. Let me bring us back really quick. And what I was thinking is we could check in and see, how are you doing, Colleen, with like, do you feel like doing a giveaway? And Colleen's been in the chat, sharing and chatting. So to do a giveaway, what I was thinking is, I was going to give away, let me bring that back up again. I have a strand and 2 strands actually. Here they are on the side. And these are kind of similar to the color Stacie was using. And they have bellflowers and tulips. Let me make that big just really quick.
Yeah, those look kind of like the pink and green, maybe.
Yeah.
I like those.
And I was going to throw in a few other little things. So there's one, the main giveaway there, and I'll probably throw extras in the box like I always do. And let's see. She said she's ready to draw. So let's do a draw for this one, and then I do have a second giveaway I'll pull out. So maybe we can we can do 2. I just saw that I had an extra of something that I think I can part with. So all right. And so while Colleen's doing the draw for these, let me show you the second one that I just kind of pulled together in my mind. So the second one, I have an extra lemon strand. So here's, bring this over. We'll do a lemon for somebody. And then I have one of these. So that, I feel like that would be so cute. And
What is that one?
This one is called Green Lotus Gray AB. Crystal AB, Green Lotus.
That's very pretty.
It has the AB skirt crystal on it, and I thought maybe it would look really cute with these together.
They almost look like little pears to me.
They do look like a pear, kind of, and this could even be like a stacker.
Yeah.
So I often will dig through my stash and find little clasps and extras to send with it. So we'll do that one and that one. So here's these
I
two.
apologize if there's screaming in the background. I have a cranky toddler today.
Aw. Hi. Hi, sweetie. I don't know if you can hear us, but
Okay.
oh, thanks, Wanda. She says gorgeous strands. Yeah, they're so pretty. Okay, so we have winners. Let's see. Drawing for winner one. Let me pop this up on the screen. So Catherine Stewart.
Woohoo!
These are yours. And then it looks like our winner number 2. Let me just scroll down here. And our second winner is Sandy. Sandy Kurtz.
Congrats, Sandy.
These beautifuls for you. All right, congrats, guys. I love doing giveaways. They're really fun. Let me bring us back really quick on the screen. Yeah, so just send me a DM or instant message or however. I'm in both places, Facebook, Instagram. You can get me through my website and just send me a note with your address and I'll get these out to you. Okay, so what do you have coming up, Stacie? Any stuff we should be tuning in for? Any lives you've got planned?
So Cole from Madame Tassels and I do a weekly live at 9 a.m. Eastern, probably a little early for you, Danielle.
9 Eastern, yeah.
But it turns into a reel. We do it on Instagram, so you can always catch it later. And our theme of this week is pink. So, of course, she picked that one. Clearly not what I would have picked. But it's good for me to work outside of my comfort zone.
Hey, no, that's good. And you'll make beautiful things.
Yeah.
So that's, you said it was 9 a.m. Eastern on Tuesday?
Every Tuesday we've been doing them. Yeah. And so I'm Stacie Rabbit on Instagram.
And that's on Instagram?
If you want to check out our live or we'll get a post of these earrings up in the next day.
Awesome. Okay. Yay. So let's see. What do I have coming up? I've got next week we're doing the regular Michael's class at 12. It's 12 Central. Sorry, 12 Pacific. It's 12 for me. And it's 2 Central time and it's 3 Eastern.
Yes.
I've got that right. Okay. So that's the usual Friday Michael's class. You can find that at michaels.com/classes. And that one is mixtape. So we're doing, it's a really beautiful design that has, I'll put it here, all of the mixes that are brand new at Michael's. I turned them into a giant necklace. So if you want to come make these with us, that's what's going on next Friday. And then next Sunday, it's not posted yet because we just drummed this up, but I'm going to do a live with Carol from Carol Carmen Jewelry because she did a petal design on a link that is a little bit similar to what we did here, but without using the pin finding. She did it on a ring.
Oh, cool.
So if you have time next Sunday, you want to tune in and we're gonna do that. She's gonna teach me because so truth be told, guys, I tried to do it and like I couldn't. I wasted so much wire. It was bad. And so she's like, no, you just gotta. She showed me in a picture how she did it, and I'm like, oh, okay, that works for you. Show me how to do that. So she's gonna teach me, and you guys will learn together next Sunday. I'm thinking the same time. Just to keep it simple for everybody, we'll do 4 p.m. Eastern, which is 1 p.m. Pacific for me. And so just keep your eyes out on the YouTube and the Facebook, and I'll post a link to that. Yeah, and then just the regular Michaels, and that's all I got going until maybe end of May. Doing the Deb Floros end of May on, I believe, the 28th of May. We're going to do a live like this one. So, yeah, that's my next 2. Well, I guess it's my next 1 month now. I keep thinking April's we're earlier in April than we are. But
Yeah, just a few days left. It's crazy.
April's like over already. Awesome. Well, I just want to thank you, Stacie, for being here with me today, and I had a really fun time creating with you.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was great. I
Thank
love
you for
those
being
beads, so I'll have to keep playing with them.
And those are so inspiring. I love the way you ombre those colors. I want to just make one just like that. It's so pretty.
Well, there's a bunch of ombre strands, so you can make them in a variety of different colors.
Yeah, exactly. So thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll let you guys go. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I'm wishing you a great week ahead. Bye.
Bye.
And thank you, Colleen.